Roland Holder came back into the 11. He replaced the somewhat ineffective Sherwin Campbell. That meant a promotion to the opening spot for Shivnarine Chanderpaul, who is still the opener for the West Indies. It was to be Richie Richardson's last tournament, and he badly wanted to do well following that humiliating defeat at the hands of Kenya. The South African meme machine rather surprisingly left out pace bowler Alan Donald. They then preferred the, I suppose then unknown and certainly unorthodox spin of Paul Adams, the frog in a blender as he was known, partnered the charismatic Pat Symcox in the spin attack. Andrew Hudson retained his opening spot following a great 161 against Holland.
Here we come with Sean Pop. Good bounce, nice bounce at the off stump. Well, that's perhaps an early indication that there might be a little bit in it for the faster bowlers. An appeal, I think there was some bat on it. Stumps get hit first time up. There's an ask. There is an ask. Umpire KT Francis from Sri Lanka. It wasn't a big appeal for the, wasn't as big appeal for the run out as it was for the LBW. But let's see what happens. I think this is wishful thinking.
I think umpire KT Francis is just making sure, Robin, he doesn't want to start on a bad note for the very first decision, so he's making sure that he asks for the third umpire, but obviously well in Courtney Brown. Well, finally it comes.
One slip and a gully, otherwise a fairly orthodox field, and that'll be four, beautifully stroked away, no doubt whatsoever.
Well, that's why the West Indies have decided to open with Courtney Brown. He plays the fast bowlers a lot better than he does the spinners. That was a good shot. Well timed and well placed.
Dreaded own goal. Rhodes had it covered. There was always going to be one, but slipped past him by his colleague.
As I said, Robin, the own goal, just slipping it past John Rhodes there. His pace was good enough to take him right behind the line of the ball, but the deflection just took it wide of him.
In the air, but safe. Cullinan giving chase. Rhodes chases. Can't gather it straight away. In the air and dropped. Rhodes the man who's put it down. Dear, oh dear. Four more, a little bit of luck involved here. But so often that's what this game's about. So he's been dropped at cover, hit one high and safely into the mid-wicket gap, and now this.
And on the edge that went past the wicketkeeper down the fine leg. The fine leg has been brought up into the circle because of the shots that Courtney Brown has been playing. And that went right where the fine leg had been brought up from. And this is a dropped catch. Look at John Rhodes again, making a lot of ground. 4 paces and then a big dive. That was a brilliant effort.
Off the over. Still a ball to go. Great shot that.
A very good shot indeed. Sean Pollock attempting to deceive Courtney Brown with a slow delivery, but pitched much too short. He just went back waiting on it and cracked it past point.
Driven back down the ground, that'll go all the way. If it isn't Brown, it's Chanderpaul.
That was a good shot. Well, we are seeing again these pitches here that this World Cup has been played on. Very flat. Not a lot of movement off the seam. It was not a half volley by any way. Chanderpaul just playing through the line and timing it beautifully. Not going as quickly as Courtney Brown, but there's no need for him to.
Brings the slip out into the short extra cover. Just gives the mid-off a bit more depth. He can get back on the edge of the circle and come a little bit straighter. Oh, it's no good being straight when you bowl that wide.
This was a beauty from Chanderpaul. Now that was a half volley and punished accordingly.
In the air and out. Well, it would be unfair to say that seemed a little inevitable. Courtney Brown died by the sword, as it were. Didn't get it high enough or far enough over mid-on, and the fact that the mid-wicket got in there let mid-on just be a little bit deeper.
Yes, Courtney Brown not quite timing that one. It wasn't a half ball. He played through the line of the ball, didn't hit it as well as he would have liked, and Cullinan is the man taking the catch. West Indies lose their first wicket on 42.
Well, if any of you watching don't know who this man is, let me introduce you to him. Been in the news, but that's all behind him. Job to do today. And I would guess that 99% of the people that have come into this ground have come to see this man play a wonderful innings.
That's a magnificent shot. The ball not seaming around, so young Chanderpaul can take some liberties. That's the 50 up for the West Indies at the beginning of the 9th over.
Well, it's a terrific shot, this. He just flips it. One of his favourite areas. You give him width on the offside, he'll smack you. And then he likes to whip it.
That's fallen wide of Adams. Off the edge. That was a difficult chance to Paul Freeman. There's not much bounce out there, but Pollock is very disappointed indeed. That's wide of Matthews at third man. That's going to go all the way to the fence. 4-4 for Shivnarine Chanderpaul.
Yes, he's an awkward little player to bowl at, he's Chanderpaul. He looks a little bit like an ugly duckling compared to the classical batsman. Right. The problem comes up, so there's a problem here. Tight. Oh, lovely throw, direct hit.
Well, Brian Lara's happy that he's made his ground. Umpire Francis today clearly not taking any chances at all. It's another superb hit. Cullinan the fielder, but he's well in. He's got in by 2 feet. The third umpire too is not taking any chances. He wants to have another look at that. You can only to see if he got past the bowling crease, Jeffrey.
Yes, well, it looks a lot, but it all happens so quickly, doesn't it?
68 for 1, and we're just coming to the end of this 15-over mark. Classic shot, classic shot. The first flowering of Lara.
He's taken his time to get settled. Now perhaps he's confident. He's seeing it well. And look at that. The full flow of the willow, and 4 runs accrue.
Beautiful shot. Fine stop. That's typical South Africa. And a beautiful throw back. That's terrific play under pressure by South Africa. Sean Pollock down there. 81 for 1.
He missed Chanderpaul, and Chanderpaul was on 27.
Well, that's a terrific shot. It's scarce. He looked short to me, I must say. We're a long way from the centre, but to a Brian Lara eye, that was short enough.
It's absolutely showing that he's seeing the ball well now. Great shot.
And playing square cuts like that.
Jonty Rhodes, the misfielder again. The infield is not all that even. Jonty Rhodes thought he had that covered. The ball just nicking the thumb as it raced past.
Oh, very fine. Top edge. Well bowled, Symcox. And 100 comes up for West Indies. 103 now, but a slice and a slice of luck.
He really didn't choose this one nicely. This was the top spinner.
Oh, that's a different class of shot. His fifth boundary, and that was all to do with Lara waiting.
As he played this against the spin, it spun quite sharply as well, but this time he really got on top of it. Waited beautifully, and the fast outfield did the rest.
2 men deep, 3 saving the 1 on the offside. But Lara plays it to the onside. Goes for 2. Well, that was a surprise decision by Lara. He just put pressure on the fielders. Good variation from Symcox.
Well, that's absolutely brilliant.
And there certainly is a big difference between Chanderpaul and Brian Lara facing up to Paul Adams. This was a very good shot. The ball coming back into Brian Lara, pretty much in line with the stumps, but he still had enough confidence to give himself some room and punch it through the offside. That certainly was on the stumps.
This won't get to the fence. Lara very happy to jog back for 2 and keep the strike against Paul Adams. That has to be the right tactic if Chanderpaul's struggling to pick the left arm spinner. That'll be 4 more, and 50 for Brian Lara. Another Brian Lara 50 just creeps up on you. He's hardly broken sweat yet. 45 balls only. A master craftsman.
You'd never believe that Brian Lara would have gotten to 50 that quickly. He wasn't very rapid with his scoring when he first got to the crease.
"12 from that Adams over, 129 for 1. Andrew Hudson sweeping up way out on the offside. Real problem now for these spinners to limit the scoring. That'll beat Adams. Wild and woolly delivery from Pollock. Lara just dismisses the ball from his presence. 8 fours now, Lara.
Attempted slow delivery, I would think, that from Sean Pollock, and that sometimes does happen, for the slow delivery is meant to be coming out of the arm a bit slow, obviously, because the fingers are sliding off the side of the ball, and sometimes you do tend to lose control.
The pressure's beginning to tell on South Africa. Chinks in the armour of their tremendous discipline. Another looping full toss, this time from Symcox. One-handed from Lara, virtually. Yeah. That'll race away as well. That's 4 more. 150's up for the West Indies. We're only in the 28th over.
Well, it certainly is a brilliant start. There are 2 men inside the circle behind square, and Lara found the gap. beautifully placed and a deliberate stroke.
This will be cheering our viewers in the Caribbean up, Mikey.
Yes, those viewers on CBU back home in the Caribbean, well, at last they are getting something to cheer about, Bob. They were very happy after the match against Kenya. Match against Australia must have lifted their hopes a bit, but certainly they'll be quite happy with what's going on here.
That's 4 more. Three boundaries in 3 balls. Lara taking complete control.
In the air again, but I'm sure Brian Lara knows exactly what he's doing. Man, that was square, was put a bit finer, and that ball went pretty much where the man had been placed before.
And again.
The hallmark of a genius. There's no doubt about it. One word describes the man. Another boundary.
Well, there's 20 come from that Pat Symcox over. The West Indies have raced on to 165 for 1. Lara will get back for 2.
And that'll be 4 more. South Africa looking down the barrel of a very big gun.
Outside edge there from Brian Lara, flying fine and wide of Craig Matthews at third man. Brian McMillan too short and too wide, and this has been the trend of the South African bowlers. They haven't been able to tuck Brian Lara up, in particular the spinners. It's in the air, and he's out. The brilliant catch there. Daryll Cullinan out on the square leg boundary, and South Africa have the breakthrough. Brian Lara hugs his partner. He knows how valuable he's been to the Brian Lara effort, and in fact to the West Indian effort. So West Indies now 182.
Shivnarine Chanderpaul hitting across this one. It's a high risk shot, but fair enough, he's been out there a long time. Cullinan has to run in. He catches it low to the ground. That's a good catch from Daryll Cullinan, and a vital breakthrough for South Africa. A praise from his partner. He's done a wonderful job. Tap on the back. Chanderpaul 56 in 93 balls. West Indies 180 for 2. Man with a mission. Captain of the West Indies, Richie Richardson. In the air. Rhodes leaps, but he's not tall enough, and that's smashed into the boundary boards, the advertising hoardings.
Well, once again, it's the fly into the spider's web. Short and wide. Lara likes nothing better. Too close for comfort, I'm sure, for him, but he hit that like a tracer bullet. He moves on to 95.
To date, this is quite a good ploy from Symcox. I think he probably left it maybe 2 overs too late in his first spell before adopting this method of over the wicket and at leg stump. Lara can only get 1. Oh, he's taken 2. And he's got there.
And he's made it. And that's a most magnificent 100. Brian Lara showing the world just what a fine player he really is. Extremely happy. Tension off him now. His teammates delighted, as is his captain.
Brian Lara's second 100 against South Africa. His first 100 in World Cup cricket. Can you believe it? be one here. They turn and take the second. Symcox has to pick himself up down at third man. It's the end of the over. It's 203 for 2. That's in the air. Brilliant catch. Now that's the best of South Africa. Gary Kirsten out there. Brilliant catch. Richie Richardson goes. Richardson looking for his fluency, looking for his aggression. And Symcox gets a reward.
Well, they'll be glad of this wicket. It was an excellent catch, but I think they'd prefer it to have been Lara. It might have made a bigger difference. But a wicket's a wicket. Gets a new man in again and hopefully will struggle. So that's the positive thought that South Africa have to have, as West Indies are still 210 for 3.
Roger Harper is the new batsman, so there's not going to be an Adams or an Alverton, 2 more left-handers. And that's the top edge. Man under it. Got him. Lara goes. In the 40th over. South Africa's perseverance, and Symcox over the wickets, and Lara looking for runs. All adds up to the fall of a famous wicket. 214 for 4.
Well, this is a huge wicket for South Africa. Top edge sweeping, and many of us have been thinking and then saying it that Symcox should have been bowling like this from the beginning, but his heart was in his mouth there. Very important that. Brilliant innings. 111 off 94 balls, and put West Indies in a brilliant position. 214 for 4.
Well, what an atmosphere we've got now, with South Africa fighting their way back into this match, and the West Indies ascendancy just wobbling a little bit. Symcox going to the end of his overs, and that gets right through. They'll take 2. And more luck for Roger Harper. So Symcox comes to the end of his 10 overs. A single. That's more like West Indies. In the air, over cover. Coming back for 2. Harper's no idea what's happening out there, but the ball's racing away down that far end. It's 4 runs. Brave try by Sean Pollock. Frustrating for young Paul Adams, because he's bowled it beautifully, dropped it beautifully.
Deserved a wicket, this, didn't it? I mean, he just deceived the batsman, gets nothing for it. In worse still, it goes for 4. Beautifully bowled.
Who's to say there wouldn't have been a stumping? Another shout, and he's out. He's given him. Randall's given him. McMillan's perseverance pays off. So South Africa now are really back in this contest. 5 wickets down for 227.
Well, the umpire had no doubt here. He gave him out fairly quickly, not getting forward, just shuffling across the crease. I think we'll see here there's not much of a stride forward. The umpire was very quick on that. It came as a bit of a surprise to everybody, but I think that's probably out. 227 for 5.
Keith Arthurton, the new batsman.
That's up in the air. It's gone a long way up in the air. And he's gone. Well, if I've ever seen a brainless cricket shot, Michael, that was it.
There was absolutely no need for that at all. The West Indies have been going along very well. 230 runs off 43 overs. 42 balls left to the bowl. All they needed was anything close to a runner ball. But instead we got this, looking to hit a 6 and only succeeding in hitting it straight up into the air. A long way up, and of course anything that goes up has got to come down, and it finds Hudson. 230 for 6.
Jimmy Adams from Jamaica is the new batsman. He's not on strike. Great fielding. He's in trouble here. He must have gone. There's no doubt about that. Great work by Paul Adams. Roland Holder's been run out. There's some spectacular collapse in progress here.
Well, we saw some absolutely brilliant cricket from the West Indies in the early overs. Now we are seeing some brainless cricket. This is another bit of it. The ball hadn't gone past Adams yet, and Roland Holder is taking off. Stranded, no chance of getting back. A long way out. No need even to call for the third umpire. Umpire Steve Randall giving him out. It's 230 for 7.
Ian Bishop in at number 9 for the West Indies. That's a lovely timed stroke. Time for some shot making. A tie in the air, it's down to long on, it's beaten Symcox and it's over the rope for 6. The 250's up for the West Indies, and they've now got a good chance of getting beyond 260.
That was a good blow by Ian Bishop, off the back foot from outside the off stump and pulling it over long on. Well, that not just takes timing, it takes a bit of strength as well.
That's bowled him out. Bishop trying to repeat the treatment. He's perished. Paul Adams managed to keep his cool. An important wicket in this last over.
Yes, right on line, Paul Adams. That's the theory in these one-day games in the latter stages. You have got to bowl straight. If the batsman misses, you hit. No free hits at this stage. The West Indies 254 for 8.
The tall figure of Curtly Ambrose coming in at number 10 for the West Indies with just 4 balls remaining. Great improvisation from Jimmy Adams. They're going to get back for 3. A good last over for the West Indies, 16 runs coming from it. The West Indies completing their 50 overs, 264 for 8.
Well, that man Brian Lara yet again, 111 off 94 balls, and that included 16 boundaries. He shared a 138-run partnership with Chanderpaul, opening for the first time. Chanderpaul helped himself to 56. Co-opener Courtney Brown registered then the next best score of 26, but the rest of the batting simply crumbled. The West Indies then reaching a very competitive 264 for 8 in their 50 overs. Well, as expected, the spinners did most of the damage, 2 wickets each for Symcox and Paul Adams, justifying his inclusion. Brian McMillan grabbed a couple of wickets of his own, those of Chanderpaul and Roger Harper. Symcox gave up 64 runs, though, including an over in which Lara smashed 22 off him.
Bit of bounce there for Curly Ambrose.
Good shot, firm shot. All the way. I'm not sure that mid-on isn't a little close there. There's no need to go that close. Possibly, but still it was a good shot.
That's how good these pitches have been. No great effort, just pushing through the line on the ball. Well timed, very fast outfield, and 4 runs.
Good shot. Drop short, and it's exactly what Mike Holding said not to do out there. It's a cracking batting pitch, and it's a cracking 4. Another fine shot, short again, and wide. And Hudson is in terrific form. Really sweet strokes, those, and they were strokes, they weren't bashes.
No, there were 2 very good shots. 2 balls pitched in the middle of the pitch. and 2 very good shots. Well, Curly Ambrose knows he has done something wrong there.
Kirsten slips. He fell back on the stumps. It's the first wicket. Curtly Ambrose takes the plaudits. Clearly forcing Kirsten right back on the stumps. All eyes are up mid-wicket to see if his stumble would recover, whether the ball would be returned in time to run him out, and all the time he knew, he felt it.
I think South Africa will consider themselves a bit unfortunate here. Kirsten played it well, played it through the mid-wicket region, but that left leg, the back leg, just slipping and going back onto the stumps. He felt it and he knew it was over. South Africa lose their first wicket on 21.
Daryll Cullinan, the new batsman, man of great talents. That's a good shot, and that's typical Daryll Cullinan. He knows it's 4, felt the timing, and we saw the follow through. 26 for 1. Scott, after that, how well he's hit it's debatable, but I think it's a real teaser. Yeah, 4 runs.
Well, that's a really good shot. He hardly ever bowls a bad ball, a really bad one. This wasn't so bad in length. He just played an excellent shot, got into position quite quickly, pulled it almost off half front foot. Hadn't time to get really back. He's just got it forward and then swings the bat. Excellent shot.
Out! No ball! No ball called. Hudson hasn't heard it because of the roar, the crowd. Dejection for the West Indies. Celebration for Andrew Hudson.
Well, that was lovely cricket, wasn't it? The batsman totally unaware, thought he was out with disappointment, turned round, took the bat under his arm, gloves off. You see, he sees the ball, he fancies whipping it over mid-wicket. He doesn't hear anything from the umpire. There he is, he hears the death knell, he thinks, as he turns around. That's it. That's a goner for me. No. And then somebody said, you're not out. Get back.
That's 4. Swatted away on the offside, short and wide, and deserved it.
Well, he hit this really well. Just waited for it with a bit of width and just smacked it with the bottom hand. Yeah, that went with quite a bit of power. Anything with any width on these slow, easy-paced pitches, people are really going to get stuck into. There you are, that's a beautiful strike. That's the sort of thing that no captain, no bowler can defend. A good length ball, and he's just smacked it over long on. You cannot set a field for this. Boom. That's a great strike, on the up.
Oh, he's hit that miles. That's 8.
Well played, what a shot. Terrific strike. As I said, a couple of good overs can change the whole context of the match and give the impetus to the batting side. Short of a length, width, and he climbs into it.
This will be runs, 4 of them, I think. Yeah.
Well, suddenly the score is rushing round, and that's what can happen in one-day cricket. You've got to keep a cool head when it's very noisy around you, the pressures get into you. This is a lovely orthodox cricket shot.
Drilled that. Oh, and half a hand on it, and it's still going to hit the rope pretty hard. That was great cricket. Whoa, wonderful cricket.
Well, it's a great attempt by Richie, but what a catch that would have been to take this. This went with some power. He just stood there and delivered, bang. And if he'd have got his hand really into the hand, it might have done a bit of damage because it was travelling. It just got a few fingers on that, half a finger.
That's over mid-off. That's going to go all the way to the fence. I'm sure the West Indian fast bowlers are not used to being wafted over mid-off and over cover as they have been today, particularly Ian Bishop. Look at that, on the up, timing, all there and quite safe.
We've seen Roger Harper bowling the ball very slowly on this pitch. This is the third match on it, remember. There's very little pace left in it. Ambrose is after this one. And a hopeless misfield. They could get back for 3.
Yes, he hardly touched the ball as he ran up, tried to pick it up with one hand. Well, that's Andrew Hudson's 50, and delight in the South African camp. Also delight for Andrew Hudson, one of the nicer guys that plays cricket.
Hudson's missed out again, just 1 run off the over, 97 for 1 from 21. And the third umpire, Corey, has asked to have another look at this. You can see there the foot bending back. I would have thought the batsman would have to be given the benefit of the doubt, and indeed he is.
But I must say it's very nerve-wracking for the batsman.
That's miles in the air and 6 all the way. Terrific blow by Cullinan. And that's Daryll Cullinan's 50. What a brilliant way to get there. He just must have sensed that his team needed that. Swung it away with whatever spin there was.
That was a good blow. Just one shot and they're back up to what they needed.
That's in the air. Is out, is caught. Courtney Walsh, the catcher. Well, that is just what West Indies wanted, but still fine progress by South Africa. 119 for 2. And this is Andrew Hudson.
Looking to clear along on Andrew Hudson. Not quite making it. Courtney Walsh, the man down at long on, taking the catch. Not a lot of ground to cover, just got behind it and took it quite comfortably. West Indies needed that wicket. South Africa are 119 for 2.
Can't see Cronje as the new batsman. I'm sure what he's saying now to Daryll Cullinan is there really is no need to go whacking the ball in the air to fielders, but clearly you have to keep playing a shot. 6 and over is a fair requirement. Terrific blow that. 6 over extra cover. It didn't matter where the fielders were. It didn't matter which line he bowled. He was almost standing up mid-wicket when he struck it.
Yes, Cullinan gave himself quite a lot of room there. The ball was well wide of leg stump, but still managed to hit it over extra cover. A very good blow, just over the ropes.
All right, Victor!
That's down to long off. Bishop's there and he's taken the catch. Cullinan goes. The West Indies celebrates. That's a vital wicket for the West Indies. Cullinan's gone for 69. South Africa now are 140 for 3.
Well, good bowling by Jimmy Adam. He's bowled into that rough, teased and tantalised the batsman, and Cullinan's had to go down the ground, which I advocated, but he got it a little bit under it, got a little bit of height on it, which allowed Bishop, who was wide long off, to run around. Absolute joy and ecstasy for West Indies. Very good knock, but 140 for 3.
Monty Rhodes coming in at number 5 for the South Africans, back in the side, played in the first 3 games, then got a hamstring injury himself and missed the rest of the qualifying stages.
Good shot, moved down the wicket, down the pitch, eased it through the covers. Bad ball from Jimmy Adams, full toss.
He's hit it for 6. Lifeblood back into the South African side. They need a few more of those, as Jeffrey Boycott was saying. They need 2 or 3 good overs to get back in this game.
Another short ball and another boundary, this time over the boundary. The West Indian bowlers certainly haven't learned that they're not to bowl short on this pitch. That brought a smile to Cornier's face. Why not? That's bad bowling, but a very good shot.
Good camera work too. He's done it again. That's in the hole, and 6 more. Now then. Another smile. Jubilation for some of the fans. Big smile.
Another very good shot. Courtney Walsh on this occasion attempting the slow delivery, but still not the right length. And a big heave over wide long on. That went a bit further than the previous one.
Hit that very hard in the air, and he's out. That's the big wicket that West Indies wanted. They won't feel home and dry yet, but they'll feel very, very nearly there. Marvellous catch. It's never easy to come into the ball and catch it low down.
Yes, that was a very difficult catch. The ball was hit very hard indeed. Didn't go a long way up. Was pretty flat. Very difficult to judge whether the ball would have carried or would have fallen short. But a good catch taken by Keith Atherton. West Indies certainly needed that one, and he knows how vital a catch that was. 186 for 4, South Africa.
Brian McMillan, the man that South Africa have asked to take their team home. Daunting task. Rhodes has got this away square in the gap. Brilliantly stopped by Atherton. Now, have another look at that. Blimey, looked like Brian Giggs.
That was good fielding by Atherton, but he was very close to those ropes. Let's see if any part of his body was over the ropes when he touched it the second time. Certainly not the first time. Well, that was close. His right leg was off, but not really on the ground. He'll have to take a very good look at this again. He's off the field there. Left leg kicks the ball. His right leg is in the air, so it's safe. That was good cricket.
5-4 onside field. 2 saving, 1 on the offside. 2 on the on, 3 on the boundary, on the leg. He's hit it up in the air. This will be out as well. Yeah. Didn't really get it anywhere near the middle of the bat. And the West Indies are now definitely in the shallow end on the way to dry land.
Another good wicket for the West Indies. Roger Harper brought back into the attack. The slow bowlers have been doing the job. John Rose going for the big hike over the mid-wicket boundary. Didn't quite get hold of it, didn't hit it far enough. And Jimmy Adams taking a very good catch. And isn't he happy? He has had a good game, Jimmy Adams. It's 196 for 5.
Sean Pollock. It's a big appeal, and out, LBW! McMillan plays right back onto his stumps, and Harper's done it again, and is on a hat-trick.
That was always going to be the danger to Roger Harper. He has not left those stumps on too many occasions. Van McMillan playing back, looking to tickle that ball down to the fine leg region, and missed. There's not much doubt in this. Right back. Well, there's no doubt at all about that. It would have hit halfway up mid-stump. 196 for 6. Well, Steve Palferman, the wicket keeper, is the new batsman.
Out! Brilliantly caught, diving to his left. 3 wickets in and over. Roger Harper has taken this game by the scruff of the neck and driven the West Indies into the semi-finals.
That was excellent cricket from Roger Harper. We were seeing a game previously that Roger Harper had lost a lot of the sparkle in the field. He had dropped a few catches, but look at this. He has come right when he was really needed. That is a good catch. Made sure he put his hand on the ground and knocked the ball. You don't need anything better than that. It's 198 for 7.
Pat Symcox, the man making his way to the wicket. There's just one more ball. Terrific effort. 6, a big 6.
Well, it does mean that South Africa are getting closer to their objective.
Another big hit, miles into the stands. Cracking 6. Pat Symcox. Can this game be rewritten at this late stage? Hitting with a spin, perfectly good strokes, ball kept well up. And that's a big hit. It'll be caught though. It will be. Roger Harper just playing with the air, a little slower. Jimmy Adams is the man at deep mid-wicket. And we've seen super catches out there today, 3 of them. 2 by Adams, 1 by Arthurton. Sean Pollock's a little bit annoyed, but what else can he do?
Well, which schoolmaster told us all catches win matches? That's what it's all about. The pressure's on, the ball is up there. Quite simple really in a way, but under the pressure of do you go through to the semi-final or not, then they are very, very important catches. 227 for 8.
Craig Matthews is out there now, joining Symcox, and they've had a little chat.
Should be out, should be out. Should be out, he's gone, he's gone.
Another brilliant catch. Another at mid-wicket. And brave Symcox goes. That was his plan, the only plan really at this stage. It wasn't a bad bang, but as Jeff Boycott says, Arthurton a bit lower in flight. Never really came off the meat of the bat. 9th wicket goes down, 228.
Yeah, it's a brave effort, but he's not as easy to hit, Keith Arthurton. I've seen him bowl before, and I have the impression that's just a little bit bigger boundary on that side. Did the best he could, Pat Symcox, but it's 228 for 9.
Paul Adams. Bowls in, it's all over. Brave little try by Paul Adams. Courtney Walsh grabs the stump because they realise that this has been such an important breakthrough. Their own morale, their own performance, and for Richie Richardson, how sweet.
So only 245 in the end. Andrew Hudson got them off to a great start with 54, and when Cullinan was with him, they put on 97 runs. That partnership must have had the West Indies sweating on it a bit. Cronje added 40, Symcox 24, but it was all really too little in the end. Well, that 41st over will linger in Roger Harper's mind for a long time. 3 wickets for him, he took 4 in the end. Jimmy Adams snatched 3 of his own, and 1 apiece for Ambrose, Walsh and Arthurton. Just look at Ambrose's figures though, giving up only 29 runs in a 10-over spell. He churns these performances out very, very often.